Hello, movie enthusiasts. Welcome back to Yusuf Reacts, the place where you get more than your expectations. I am Lois, and today we are going to talk about the much anticipated upcoming movie, where we have the fantastic movie star turns lead this loving and supremely entertaining ode to stunt work based on the 80s TV series. Before the Fall Guy even premiered at the SXSW Film Festival on Tuesday, there were boos in the audience not for the film or stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, all staggeringly delightful, but for a preview of the festival's tech conference, touting the promise of AI as a great equalizer that makes us more human. Lol. How funny, and unintentionally pointed, for such a statement to air before a film that serves as a joyful testament to the people who make movies, and particularly the tricky, bombastic art of human stunts. Even funnier that The Fall Guy, written by Drew Pearce and directed by Bullet Train's David Leitch, itself takes some swings at AI in the script. It's not really a spoiler to say that its deepfakes aren't being used for good. The Fall Guy, based on the 80s TV series, is an utterly charming, unpretentious rebuttal to the encroachment of digital effects in life and film. All due respect to VFX artists. It's a celebration of blockbuster movies and their illusions of grandeur made by dozens and dozens of people working in concert, mostly below the line, and specifically the underappreciated work of stunt doubles. It's also just a consistently good time, 2 hours of zingers with impeccable timing, to bona fide movie stars with palpable chemistry, several enjoyably meta send-ups of the business, and of course, plenty of crazy stunts. Gosling, newly minted Oscars pop star and certified charm machine, is in peak comedy leading man form as Colt Seavers, a movie stunt veteran sidelined by an on-set injury that derailed his confidence. Jaded and hiding out in LA as a valet for a Mexican restaurant, Colt is reluctantly called back into action by big-time producer Gail Hannah Waddingham for the beleaguered Australian shoot of Metal Storm, a Comic-Con-aiming sci-fi flick. The promise, and the problem, is that Metal Storm is directed by Jodie Blunt, the woman Colt loves and whom he ghosted after his injury, leaving her hurt, confused and bitter. The secondary problem is that Jodie's star and Colt's longtime double, global action hero Tom Ryder Aaron Taylor Johnson, is suspiciously missing, threatening the studio to pull the plug on her debut film and lifelong dream. In an attempt to save her film, Colt searches for him in Sydney and, lo and behold, finds his stunt work transcending the boundaries of set as shady characters and intrigue abound. In other words, the action figure version of Ken. Leitch, a stuntman for over 20 years at one point doubling for Brad Pitt, guides the film with a clear affection for movie sets and expertise in the trade. The Fall Guy offers an enjoyable exhibit of the stunt staples: pyrotechnics, rigging, trained dogs, car chases, car crashes, dummy weapons, fight choreography and more, all seamlessly blended into the fun dumb story or Metal Storm, a loving parody of cowboys and aliens and Dune. It's both a celebration and send-up of movie set tropes, the overweening, self-serving producer in Gail, the feckless movie star in Tom Ryder, the lovably competent stunt coordinator in Dan Winston Duke, the scheming, tread-upon assistant in Alma Milan Stephanie Hsu. Also, the use of split screens, story structure, Tom Cruise, even the fact that there still isn't an Oscars category for Best Stunt Work. Perhaps one would honor Fall Guy stuntman Logan Holiday, who broke a Guinness World Record for number of cannon rolls in a car 8.5 while filming. It's all a fizzy, funny, convincingly romantic delight, a tribute to the craft of making big movies with big stunts, that is heartfelt in its appreciation, without taking itself too seriously. As such, the mystery plot is thin and borderline outlandish, even for this level of silly. Used more as a pretext for a final act stunt bonanza, that's a chef's kiss on the undersung heroics of the job. Still, Leach has accomplished something rare in the realm of studio blockbusters, a big-budget film that caters, but does not pander, to its audience, that bets long on human labor, that leans into tongue-in-cheek humor without feeling sycophantic. It helps that Gosling is surpassing Kenergy levels of comic precision. The Fall Guy capably celebrates the sometimes literal heights reached on the big screen in the name of mass entertainment, and is right up there with the best of them. The Fall Guy is showing at the SXSW Festival. It will be released in Australian cinemas on 24 April, and in the UK and US on May. So to set the scene, Colt Seaver's Ryan Gosling is a suave and super confident stuntman who knows how to take a fall while on fire and thrown into a rock. When he is not being blown up, he is flirting with the very professional camera operator, Jodie Marino Emily Blunt. However, when his incompetent actor Tom Ryder Aaron Taylor Johnson, who could not do his own stunts in his dreams, wanted a stunt done again because they saw too much face. But the stunt goes wrong, and Colt breaks his back. 18 months later, Tom's producer, Gail Meyer Hannah Waddingham, calls Colt, who is now a valet. She needs him to come back to Sydney because Jodie has her first director role, and they need his stunt prowess. But did anyone ask Jodie? Okay, let's rip that band-aid off straight away and make it clear that Ryan and Emily have fantastic chemistry, and when the film is focusing on that, it is at its best. It is honestly a delight to see them play off each other in every moment, when they are in love, when they are fighting, when they are having an argument via the medium of explaining the script over a megaphone. This is so important because the entire film would not work if you didn't believe their relationship. One thing that surprised me was just how meta this film got. It opens with a love letter to the stunt team and 100% calls out the Oscars for not having a stunt category. But it goes so much deeper than that, which should not be surprising given this is made by 87 North Productions. Talking about stunts, we need to explore the action. It does fall more on the comedic side of things, and there are some hilarious moments. For example, can you spot all the unicorns? Or how much glass can there be? It should not be a surprise that the stunt team works exceptionally well, and on that front, you need to stay around for the credits. Now, I have not watched the TV show on which they based this. However, from what I can see, this is more than just a lift of the title. It is not a whole lot more than that. Overall, the narrative is quite solid, with the mystery, action, and romance themes interplaying well together. However, some of the supporting cast did feel a bit wasted. It was also lovely to see just how much of Sydney they showed off, like this is Matrix level of exposure. However, I do think that I am obliged by honor to call out a slight dig at the Aussie stunt teams. While the film is a blast, shout out to the Kelpies who portray Jean-Claude. And if you have seen Barbie, you know how good Ryan Gosling is with his physical comedy. However, as I was watching the film, I did feel like it needed another editing pass. While it was fun to see the oneers at the start, I liked that when they called out the honor, they actively did not show it as an honor. However, there were multiple times where you felt scenes dragged on a touch too long than they should have. The way that they edited the main act-to-action scene felt a bit flat, and there was a point where you knew how the film would end. And you had to wait more time than it should have taken to get to that point. Some of this could have been condensed down. Thankfully, none of these issues torpedo the film, but they do hold it back a touch. In the end, do we recommend The Fall Guy? Yes, we would. It's not a perfect film, but it is a fun one. The chemistry is a delight, and I laughed all the way from my core on multiple occasions.